Well, your question is, what's my educational vision? And I would succinctly say it's the belief that we have the world we have because we have the education we have. In other words, we have a very problematic world. We have a world in crisis. And I think the people look at the symptoms and they don't look so much at the root of these problems, which is the human consciousness. And nothing is more determining in the quality of human consciousness than the process of compulsory education. It's increasingly dehumanizing situation that not only does not do its job of educating in the true sense of the word, which is helping human development, individual and social, but it stands in the way, creates many emotional problems. It's almost as, I remember a small boy saying in a book, Italian book I read, something devilish. It's perceived by students as something intrinsically bad. I think objectively it is. It takes children away from their families, it takes away from other opportunities of learning. Of course, there wouldn't be easily a place for them unless in the new alternative system, now in America, they are building what are called learning communities, which are neighborhood sponsored. And they have a place for sports, a place for computers, a place for socializing. These learning centers are not governed by the standard authorities. And some American states permit education, parent-guided or parent-assisted education at home. And actually the basic idea is not parent-assisted. Essentially, the kids are doing their own. They are using the internet with very great ability. They're finding many resources to learn, and they can pass the exams much more easily at their own rhythm and satisfy other interests as well when they can tailor their own education to their own needs. So I think education is very much part of the political and economic aspects of society. Eisenhower coined this word, the military-industrial complex. I think education is an ally of the military-industrial complex. And we think of the military and the industrial as problems, as the oppressors. But we don't think of education as the vital piece that makes people ready to go into that system. The robotization system, it's not education, it's a way of putting people asleep, of killing their creativity, of making them more and more passive and more open to authority and conformity. So I think it's bad business to educate for the workforce and not put attention to educating for life. Otherwise life can take revenge on us. I think for a viable society we need individual human beings that have a better emotional health than the product of today's education. It's a matter of survival that we pay attention not only to reading, writing, and arithmetic, but to true culture, which is cultivation, growth, to the mind. Just like in the New Testament, Jesus says, heed the kingdom before everything else, and everything else will fall into place. Everything will take care of itself if you give priority to the kingdom of God that is in our hearts. So in the same way we can say, if you pay attention to the mind, to the depth of consciousness, many things will fall into place. It's the best inversion we can do for a collective predicament. And can it be done? I think it can be done because I have a way of doing it. Edgar Morin was appointed by the French government, was put in charge of reforming French education, and after 2 years had to give up. The institution was too refractory to change. But he was working from concepts. He was an intellectual, even though a very open-minded, the father of complexity science. But what he had to offer is curriculum design mostly. What I have to offer is a deep impact on the mind of teachers. So these teachers become more humanized, and a person who is more human is immediately more channel for the expression of values. We need people to have an ability to solidarity. We need people to have a capacity to relate, an interest in others. We need people to have an ability to enjoy. We need teachers to be truly concerned with the happiness of students. That's almost outside the culture of education. The education bureaucracy has structured things so that certain things are irrelevant. Happiness is irrelevant.